Alright family, so what we're going to do on this video is do a DIY headband turban. What you're going to need is some stretch fabric. You're going to need a sewing machine or needle and thread. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need measuring tools. You can even have a ruler if you don't have measuring tape. You're going to need some pins if you're a beginner, and you're going to need a marking tool to mark on our fabric. So let's get started. Okay fam, what we want to do is find the stretchiest side of our fabric. As you can see, that has some stretch to it, but this side really has some stretch to it. So this is the side that we'll be cutting the length on, not the width, but the length. We want to spread out our fabric here. Excuse me because I am working in a small space and I'm trying to get the best angles for you guys so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my measuring tape and I'm going to measure out 22 inches. Now this headband turban is for an adult to wear. Now if you want to make this for a child, a little girl, of course you would do different measurements, and if you want to see how to do that and what measurements to do or to use to make a child's headband, let me know in the comments. So what I'm going to do now is take my white pencil here and I'm going to make the marks where I need to cut on the fabric. As you can see, I'm doing 22 inches. I'm also going to mark at the beginning of my measuring tape so that I have the exact dimensions on how to cut. Now for the width, we're going to do 8 inches. So we're going to start from the mark that we made at the top of our measuring tape, and we're going to go up 8 inches and mark there as well. If you want to know kind of how that looks, watch the lines. Alright, so what we're going to do is join the sides together now that we have it cut out, and you're going to follow along my finger to know where we're going to stitch it. We're going to leave a 1/4 seam allowance, and we're going to use the zigzag stitching. This ensures that when we are putting it on our head and taking it off, that the stitching will not pop. I'm going to zoom you guys in so that you can see exactly what the needle is doing when I say zigzag. So if you're not new to sewing, you know that we're just feeding the fabric through the sewing machine. However, if you're not using a sewing machine and you just have needle and thread, you want to do the same zigzag stitching to ensure that your stitching does not pop. Of course, that will take more time, but it is achievable. So go for it. Hopefully you noticed that I sewed this on the wrong side, and that is so that our stitching won't be seen on the outside. So what I'm going to do now is just flip it right side up so that you can see the actual side that will be shown when we're wearing it on our head. So what we're going to do is go ahead, lay this flat on the table in front of me, and we're going to make sure our seam is in the middle of our headband. Alright, so go ahead and flip that over now that we have the seam in the middle, and we're going to combine the ends so that both of the seams on the outside line up. so. I have a seam on this side here, and then in the back I have a seam on that side. So this where it gets a little tricky, guys. What we're gonna do is take the corner of the first side and we're going to line that up with the seam on the back side. We're then gonna take that other side and fold it into the seam on the other side, and then we're gonna fold that onto the seam in front. And I know that's confusing, so I'm gonna do it for you guys again. So make sure you watch. I'm not gonna talk so that you can kind of grasp what I'm doing. Alright, so I hope you caught what I did, guys, and keep on following along. So what we're going to do is stitch straight across, and we're going to do that several times. So for this time, what we're going to do is switch from a zigzag stitch to just a straight stitch. And on my sewing machine, that is option 10. So I'm going to zoom you guys in again, and I'm going to start stitching a straight stitch. I'm going to do this several times just to ensure that nothing comes off, nothing pops, nothing breaks. If you are not new to sewing, you know that you can just do a reverse stitch right at the beginning and right at the end. But for my beginners, I wanted to show you a different way. If you weren't familiar with how to do a reverse stitch, or maybe your sewing machine doesn't do reverse stitch. So keep looking. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is clip the thread and kind of clean up what we've done so far, and I'm going to cut off the excess. You can see the 3 layers of thread that I have on there, and for my beginners, this is totally fine. It won't be as crisp as someone who is used to sewing would have it. So I don't want you guys to get too down. I wanted this to be beginner friendly, so I'm not being too strict on it. As you can see, just cut away the extra pieces and make it as neat as possible. So what we're going to do now, guys, is go ahead and we're going to flip this over to see our final results. And there we have it, a cute DIY turban headband. This was so simple, guys. It took less than 10 minutes to create this beautiful, easy DIY headband. I am so pleased with it. I hope you guys followed along and achieved the same results. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe. If you like this video, share this video. Comment below and let me know if you will try this headband or if you tried this headband already. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye.